everyone, and welcome again to Get Celebritized. You already know the drill. I'm your host, Aurea McGarry, and I bring on wonderful guests to help you earn more, live a big, vivacious, juicy, wonderful legacy life, and have so much abundance that you're able to give back more to the causes and charities and people that matter most to you. Well, if you have been frustrated with hearing crickets on your social media, or if you're wondering, gosh, is this social media even for me? Do I really need social media? Maybe just run ads or buy some, followers. It's not that big a deal. Maybe who cares if anybody's watching on my social media? I have a business. Do I really need it? Oh my goodness. Don't turn away from this show because I have on somebody you must meet. I met Shawn Dodd at an event about 2 weeks ago. We were both keynote speakers, and he knocked my socks off. Really, my generation, I want to say us, let's just say 30 and up, we'll be generous, really need to know that without social media impact and engagement, we are really not going to be able to keep up with our competitors. And it's going to get bigger and bigger each and every day, month, and year that goes by. So you've got to listen to this guy. I'm bringing him up. He is none other than Shawn Dodd. He's a former Army Ranger turned viral content creator. I'll have him connect those dots when he gets here. He's the founder of Iron Ranger Media, a mission-driven agency helping brands and creators just like you break through the noise, confusion, and chaos online. He has over 1 million followers across social media platforms, almost 600,000 on TikTok alone, with 5 million likes on TikTok. Why is that important? He's going to tell us. You're probably thinking, do I need TikTok? Oh, just wait. He's coming on. I'm bringing him on. He has had more than 1,000 brands, 1,000 brand partnerships, including Armani, Dove, Marriott, and he's even in talks with Ralph Lauren. Shawn's content has landed him national commercials, skyrocketed his clients. I get excited. He's amazing. Their visibility and ranked him in the top 2% engagement across social media. Now, here's what's in it for you. Shawn's mission is very clear. He is here to empower others, people like you, to show up boldly, build real influence with integrity, and create content that actually connects and converts into clients for you. I've said enough. Let me bring up this amazing Iron Ranger to the show. Shawn, welcome to Get Celebritized.
I'm excited to be here. This is fun. Since you and I have met, we've hit it right off, and we have very similar missions to help people. And I just am so grateful to be a part of that mission with you. So it's nice to meet similar-minded people.
Oh, I totally agree. You know, sometimes you and I would do a lot of speaking engagements, go to a lot of places, and we don't connect with everybody. You know, we like everybody. It's wonderful, but I came on right before you, and then I listened to you, and it was like that instant connection. The people I know need you because my generation, I keep saying that, okay, I'll even be less generous, over 40.
Our generation.
Over 40. Really, we weren't brought up with social media. We weren't brought up with even the internet or computers. Hate to say that, my age is showing. But we have to engage and we have to learn these new things. So first of all, tell us a little bit about what is Iron Rangers and how did you go from an Army Ranger to this social media impact that you have and have really, grabbed onto and become very successful in?
Yeah, I mean, it was really interesting how it all worked out. I was a high-end operations and sales consultant for numerous major corporations, billion-dollar corporations, prior to even doing this. So it's not what I would have expected to ever have done. But I ended up with COVID. I was in the hospital, and I almost died of viral pneumonia from it. And I came out, had no job, didn't know what I was going to do. And my son, Gavin, my youngest, came to visit me, and he said, "Dad, I want to do TikTok with you one day." And I was like, "No, not doing that dancy thing. Don't want to dance around, look like an idiot." And I saw him trying to do his first TikTok, and I felt horrible. And I said, I can be an impact to my kid's life right now and share something with him and learn something new in the process. So I did. And when we started doing it, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to name my social media platform. And as a former Army Ranger, one of the big impacts in my life was my commanding officer. I worked really hard in the military. I was in the top percentile of the military because of all the certifications I got. So I had mechanized infantry, the top certifications you can get in the mechanized infantry in the Army. And then I had the light infantry, which is the Army Ranger aspect, and those top certifications you can get there. And no one in the Army had that at this time. It was like now that a lot of people do, but back then I was one of the trailblazers of that. And when I was getting ready to go into Iraq, my commanding officer gave out call signs for the radio, and he was giving out others like purple and blue and other different weird colors for names for their call sign. And then he looked at me and goes, "That's Iron Ranger." And everybody goes, "Why does he get a cool name?" And he talked about the certifications and the things I've done, and I earned it. So as I was, we went through the Iraq, we went through the battles, we did the whole thing. And as I'm leaving Iraq, he had to stay back I was going to remove myself from the military at that point. He was staying back to help out and just get kind of everything closed shop. And he was killed while I was in the flight heading home. And so he was electrocuted. And so I waited for him in Germany and for his remains, and I escorted him all the way back to his final resting place. And so he has a foundation. It's called the Captain Brian Font Foundation that's currently out. And I just adore this family, adore him, and it was one of those impactful moments. So I was trying to think, what's a really cool name on social media but meaningful to me? And that's why I chose the Iron Ranger aspect of things. I had no idea I would be sitting in front of you today and then others talking about this when I made that name, but it's now become my staple, and my audience has begged me not to change it. And I've thought about changing it quite a few to make it more relatable and fit, but it's now is what it is, and it's created its own beast, and I'm very proud of it.
You should be, Shawn. When I heard you speak, you talk about authenticity and being you, and there is no other you, and nobody sees the world through any of our eyes except for us. Even if you're a twin or triplet or quadruple, that's a word. And I remember you said that. And so, there's media will tell you, oh, you've got to have a cool name, it's got to relate, it's got to be, but this one means so much to you. And hearing that story absolutely never changed that. It's in memory of, it's for a good cause, and it really makes you even so much more likable, approachable, and like you said, like authentic. I didn't even know that part of the story. I thought I knew it. I knew about the COVID and the starting with your son, which I thought was super cool, and I invited you on the show because so many people, Shawn, had to pivot after and during the pandemic, and you were one of those who did it successfully. So on that note, let's take that a step further. Many people, for whatever reason, whether it was our wonderful pandemic that they lost a job or had to recreate themselves, or they had to totally redefine what they wanted to do. Some pivoted, but some lost it all and needed to do something completely different. Tell us how you made that transition. If you can give anybody some tips on if they're still transitioning, wondering, I'm still not there yet from losing it all in the pandemic, or for whatever reason. People just lose their jobs too, or lose their careers, or get injured and can't do it anymore. So what say you about some steps that you took that made it successful versus people that don't ever make it? They're still scrambling.
I could have gone the safe way and gone back into consulting and did what I did best. And I'm actually really good at it still. I mean, if I ever needed to, I could jump back into it, no problem. And sometimes I help my clients with that, by the way. It's been kind of fun, being a little addition. But I realize if I don't chase what I'm passionate about, and I was passionate about it because I was becoming a community involved. I was involving my community and creating a community. I mean, we raised $1.7 million so far for charities in the last almost 4 years. And that's a huge step. And to be able to, there's nothing cooler as a dad than watching your kids put socks on a homeless person in the dead of winter and feeding them and going to the children's hospital, interacting with children who are on their last bits of life and giving them a little bit of joy. And just things like that really impacted me as a father, but also me as I am in the community now, and it's something I'm passionate about. And what I had to get past was my own ego, my own being scared. Like anybody watching this right now feels exactly this. When you post something, you're worried about that high school ex maybe that you just would make fun of you, right? Or there's that one person. We all have one person somewhere that we said, if they see this, they're going to totally light me up. my brother and sister, for example, I think of them sometimes like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to the next family reunion. We're going to have fun with this one.
Right.
But what I had to get past was it's bigger than myself, and
Yeah.
what it is, if you do social media correctly, it's a community. So what I recommend to everybody is your passion is you only get to live your life once, and if you have follow your passion, people crave authentic experiences right now. In the world of AI, people are
Yeah.
seeing it too much. And why AI has its merits, it's funny in some ways. You can do unique things that you couldn't do before. People
Right.
still crave that connection and that authentic behavior. So if you're authentic to yourself, people will recognize that, and you
Mhm.
will be able to monetize that in whatever you do. It doesn't have to be social media. It could be anything. It could be accounting if that's what you're passionate about.
Right.
But just be passionate about it, and people will gravitate towards you.
So you have to take a leap forward, and you really knew what you want to be passionate about. I love how life happened to you through your son. So that wasn't something you would plan 10 years ago. It's
Mhm.
like, okay, you want to do social media, I'll hop in with you to help you. Then it became your passion. You actually became really good at it, which I love your videos. I have some questions about those videos. Hopefully we'll get to them now. If not, we're going to have you in town and people are going to be able to meet you in person here in the Atlanta area. So we're really excited about that
Absolutely.
because you do some really cool things in your TikTok videos, Instagram videos. And we really need to stop the scroll. We need to learn how, or have somebody like you do them for us, because it's kind of imperative now to stop the scroll in fun, engaging ways. So with that, what is the most biggest problem you get from entrepreneurs that seek out, hey Shawn, do you think you could help me with such and such?
Yeah,
What is that big
all day
key?
long. Look, Gen X and above hate social media. Let's just call it what it is, right? The majority of us don't want to be on it, don't understand it, think it's worthless.
We're just
I mean,
fun. We just want to
example,
scroll. We don't want to jump
I
in.
had a I had a friend I love the guy to death. He's a baby boomer. He owns a bunch of businesses, and he was radio ads over me because he's scared of social media, and that's what he ended up being. And then it just is what it is, right? And that's part of what it is. But what I think about social media is, it's coming to it's coming to you. You're gonna have to use it if you want a
Coming to
business in
a
the
town near
future or
you.
not. You don't have a choice. Just like I hearken it back to the days where yellow pages were out. Everybody was trying to jock for the position in the yellow pages and be the top and have their name, change their whole business name so they could be in a certain part of the yellow pages. And then this weird internet thing came up, and everybody was like, "We got to get a web page," and everybody's like, "I don't need that. That's stupid." And everybody hated it back then. But then they were forced to do it, and they had to pay 10 times the amount they would have paid if they just got on the trend where it began. And if you talk to every business owner back then, the ones that didn't do it, they all regret not getting a web page sooner because of how much money it ended up costing them, and not jumping on that trend. Social media is about to kill web pages. You guys are going to understand that people are creating interaction, people are creating experience, and a web page is only able to be read. And there will still be some need for web pages, but that won't be the experience you expect. And probably just 3 years, most of the web pages will be gone. And to an extent, it'll be completely shifted on its head. So I'm telling everybody, social media is an absolute necessity, and I see the numbers. I do this every day, and that's part of the reason I'm in it, is because I can get my agency, get the kinks out, really make it sing, and then by the time everybody is needing me, it's just going to be like, okay, just bring them in. But that's part of the issue right now. I think that's hardest part is educating people on why it's so important.
Yeah. It's funny. I remember when we met at Ramona's event, you said some really good stats about how much people spend time on TikTok and scrolling videos versus like even watching Netflix. We know TV has taken a downturn. We've got Netflix and Hulu and all that. People are binge watching, but still more people are scrolling and on social media than even watching television. And I had made a point before you had said that, as I was closing my speech, was I have lots of actor friends here in Atlanta, male and female, older, younger, the whole gamut. And now, believe it or not, what shocked me, one of them used to work with us on the board of governors at the Emmys, and he's out there now getting these small parts, great parts, having a great time. He loves what he does. And he's saying now when he goes for auditions, one of the first things they look at now isn't just your resume. They're looking at your social media and seeing your engagement. And if you both bring similar resumes to an audition, have similar, experiences, and one has more engagement on social media, they will pick that person. So now he's up on social media a lot now saying, and he was so cute because he was so honest. Hey guys, I got to get into social media. Found out that it's imperative to me getting acting jobs. So here I am on TikTok. and he's not 20 years old. He's probably in his 40s. And he's saying, I got to be here. So he's just kind of so of course I automatically followed him, engaged with him, because he told me why he was there. I felt for him, like, I'll follow him, I'll comment, do whatever you want. So what do you say about things like that, how it can help make or break careers?
Well, let's just talk about regular business. We'll just start there and then we'll work on the career part. But Gen Z right now is they're the up and coming. Millennials are even right behind them. But 87% of Gen Z will look at your social media and see how good you are based off of that over Google. 87% will look you up there, and they take the comments on your social media as the reviews.
Yeah.
So those people who are buying the Google reviews, Gen Z, well, Gen Z is like the new coming out of high school group right now. They're all coming out of high school into college. Yeah, the millennials are younger than us, right? We'll just call it that way. Between us and the college grads, the 30-year-olds. And so what's interesting about that is that's really impressive to know. It's 70% of the millennials, just a generation after us, is doing the same thing. That's significant. Yeah. And what you need to realize is if people are taking your social media that seriously, that's billions of people who are looking at businesses on social media before Google and judging your social media and how you do business over even Google. Because I can put anything I want on Google. I can do whatever I want, put it on there, pay for it. I can pay for articles now. People don't even take articles seriously anymore. But what they can do is go to my social media and verify what kind of human I am based off of that, what kind of business I run based off of that. And they take it very seriously. And everyone I've talked to says the same thing. They just like, yeah, I won't talk to someone if they don't have any kind of, because that tells me they're not any good.
Absolutely. My daughters were big I have two daughters, and one of them, let's just say she's in the 30 range. She finds all of our hairdressers, our, boutiques, events, everything through social media. And if they don't have a good Instagram page, TikTok now, we're buying stuff. Who would ever think I'd be making purchases on TikTok? It's gotten really just, we go to Instagram. They've got great before and after pictures. They've got this. Go to TikTok. You see if there's a store, and you see what people are saying about it. So you are so right on the money. So give us some tips then. All right. We're telling them this is important. We're telling them this is a necessity, not just a luxury, to have some kind of impression on social media. What are some of the steps that they can take, our generation? Whether do they need to be on all the social media platforms? Is this going to be overwhelming? Or what's some 1, 2, 3 steps that they can take? Just make it better going forward after today hearing you.
I think everybody has to figure out what platform they resonate the most with, right? And everyone is different and has their unique merits. So that's where I come in. I've studied them all. I understand what works, what doesn't work. What's funny is I don't have like a big YouTube presence, for example, which is interesting to think about. However, I've created amazing YouTube channels for some of my clients who do now, and they have a massive YouTube presence because of it. It really is just a matter of understanding your business and where you're going to find the best audience. And so like Facebook is more for, us older folk. But, there's still, you can build amazing, you can build amazing community groups on it, right? Where you can't do that in other platforms. Then you have your Instagram. People look at that as kind of like the gold standard of social media right now. If your business is on Instagram and doing well, that's an important one to have. But TikTok, you could be a little more loosey-goosey. You can have a little more fun. You could try new things, but you can go viral very quick on TikTok. They will also do the opposite. They can, but what I love about TikTok is you can play around a little bit more and see where your niche is. Then Twitter is just blunt, brutal, and honest. So you better have a thick skin if you get on Twitter, is all I got to say. Be ready, because everything comes at you there. But that's also some businesses that are really edgy need that. They need to have that. So
do they pick one, or do they have to do them all?
Well, that's the thing. There is a difference. And I always tell people, if you're just getting started, find one that you resonate the most with, start there. And then see how it feels, or hire me and I'll do it all for you if you want me to, whatever. Right. But as long as you start and you're authentic, that's half the battle right there. I mean, the majority of what you have to do is just getting on and just being consistent. And that's the issue a lot of people don't do. They're like, well, I posted this month. Well, once a month isn't going to cut it, buddy.
No. And Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's different, Shawn. You were saying that it's a different consistency on each platform. TikTok, you can and want to do like 5 to 6 to maybe some people do like 50 times a day on TikTok. You wouldn't
Some
do
do, yeah.
that on Twitter or on Instagram. Instagram could be like once a day, but consistency is not once a month or once a week. It's either daily or several times a day. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, and the algorithm will support you if you're using their platform consistently. They want you. They want to push you out there because they want to reward those people who are using their platform on a consistent basis. So that does happen.
Yeah.
The owner of the head of Instagram said it himself the other day on a live that, hey, look, we want to reward those who are on, and we're actually supporting smaller creators rather than the bigger creators right now. So we want to help you grow your account, which is interesting. So you'll see these bigger creators at a standstill with their followers, then you see these smaller creators really starting to grow, and that's because Instagram is saying we want everyone to feel like they're a part of something.
I love that. It's on that topic. How important is it then to go live? I saw one of your videos, I think it was just this morning or yesterday, when you said it's really important to go live. Is it important to go live on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or all of them? If so,
Yes.
how much live would make a difference?
It depends on what your goals are, and everyone's different. But live, here's the thing: we all have our story. We all have a beautiful story. No one has seen life through the eyes that we've seen them through, right? No, and like I said before, 8 billion people in the world. That makes you unique. That makes you special. That makes your voice different than anyone else, and you deserve to be heard. And what I love about live is people get to hear you. And those people that will resonate with you will stay on and listen and interact, and those who don't will scroll past. And that's okay if they scroll past. There's no rhyme or reason. I started out with 3 people on my live, and the first few times I did it, and then it grew to like 5, and I was like, we had like 20 people, and I was celebrating with my son. I'll never forget. I'm like, yeah, we got 20, And now it's weird if I don't have thousands. So it's just interesting how it all works out.
Well, I would have a question on that. What is the difference then in if somebody says, well, I get really nervous on live, can I video and then put that up? Is it the same algorithm to post a video or a reel versus going live?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if I had to choose one or the other, live is always my take because
Why?
people think about it this way. If Brad Pitt walked on a movie screen and you say, hey, Brad, I love those shoes. What are they? And he turns around and goes, hey, thanks. They're Gucci. I mean,
okay, you made your point. You made your point.
What impact would that have on you? And so that's why, but this is what's happening. This is why Netflix is losing stock. Disney is losing stock in their Disney Plus. All the streaming are going down because, first of all, let's just put it this way. Their content has been horrible lately. No one's said, and I've not heard anybody say that's a great movie in recent time. Like you used to have great movie, great movie, great movie. Now you get 1 out of 20 movies are great. So they're dying on the vine, and what's happening is people are interacting with people live. I can now go ask Brad Pitt if he's live what kind of shoes he's wearing. And it's an example, but you get the idea, and that's why it's so intriguing for people to be on live. And if you're out there pitching your business, you get to ask real life questions with people who want to know, and they're going to tell you what they want. And now you can say, I can go post a reel on that because they're the ones who gave me the idea. So that's how it works.
It's like live conversation, but Shawn, you made a really good point. I hope everybody heard this point that you just made. I don't want to gloss over because it's really, really important. Get good at doing lives, get comfortable doing live, but it's really important. I've seen people go live and they're so nervous. They're not looking at the comments. They're not interacting. They're just kind of live, ignoring. They forget that people are actually watching, asking questions. So it's really important that while you're live, that you're looking at the comments, ask them questions, be conversational. Is that what you're saying? So you can say, oh, hey, Shawn, I see that you like my shirt. Or hey, Shawn, you're right. I agree with you. So you're talking with them while you're live, not just talking at them while you're live. Is that correct?
And let's put it this way. We all want to talk about ourselves. People want you to be noticed. And even if they're in a comment, and when you mention them directly and you reply to their comment, they feel now connected with you. And it's a psychological thing that we all have, right? If I say, hey, you're from Ohio. I remember when I was Ohio, I had this and this experience. So did you have something similar? And you ask them a question in return. Now they're engaged. Now they're staying in your life to answer your question. And it just could be that simple. You like my shirt. Hey, what's your favorite color? I'll wear that next time I'm on live or whatever, just whatever
Engage
it can
with
be.
them, talk with them. I love that.
When you do that, they love it.
They really do. So I think I do that. I'll go live with somebody because you want to say, I love when people that I know, and I'll be doing this with you more often too, because I just started watching you. We've only known each other like 2 weeks. It's like, hey, and you go, oh, hey, Rhea's here live. I know her from Ramona's event. It's like, it's really fun. It's kind of like, yeah, hey, everybody wants to be seen. And I used to do Mary Kay years ago, loved it, and met Mary Kay Ash many times. Yes, I drove the pink Cadillacs, all the good stuff. But she said, did you mind?
I don't blame you. That's awesome.
I know you're in Texas, so hey, I love Texas.
Right.
But she always told us something that I never forgot. None of us did. It was one of those key, values that we have. And she said that everyone wears an invisible sign that says, "Make me feel special." And I've lived by that. I believe in that because I don't care who we are. When somebody just says, "Hey, Shawn just joined the show. Hey, Shawn, good to see you. Hope you're doing. How's your dog? I remember he was sick last time we were on live." It's just that high validation. So I love what you said. Live's important. And now we're going to transition. A lot of people now, because they're not like you and I that do live. We can jump on live all day long, right? That's because we've had experience. We didn't come out like this. We didn't just start, confident the day we went live or the day we start our shows or whatever. We all learned. Yeah, we're all thumbs. So tell us how you help entrepreneurs, because I know what they're thinking. They're thinking, oh, Shawn, I'm not, Armani. I'm not Gucci. I'm not Ralph Lauren. I'm not even, the brick and mortar next door. I'm an entrepreneur. I'd love to get better, but this is what they say, I probably can't afford help. Talk to us about what that would look like if you have conversations with people, if you do some kind of assessment to see, and you have kind of levels where they could start with you and get a little better versus a whole big pie package for those big companies that can just hire you full time. Tell us how that road works.
The thing is one of my favorite clients right now is their name. I'm going to give them a nice shameless plug, ATX Homemade Jerky. And he's been making jerky since he was 14. I saw
that TikTok. That was cool.
And he is the most mellow, relaxed voice guy I've ever met in my life. And when I call, I'm like, hey, you sound happy today. And he goes, actually, I really am. I'm like, hey, you sound happy today. And he's like, no, I'm not. So I just never know. It's the same tone. And so I'm like, gosh, this will be interesting to work with him. And I started watching him make his jerky one day. And I was like, this is so interesting. He goes, what do you mean? To him, it's an everyday thing. So I said, you got to go live and do this. And he's like, no. And now I can't get the guy off live because he gets I'll do a live at a jerky place and I'm showing people what's up and they like it. But when he goes live now, he gets more than I do sometimes because it's so unique and so interesting. And it just is a reminder to us all that just go show what you can do. So if you don't have any money to invest, just show what you do, put yourself out there and go from there. But, I do help clients with confidence. So I help them find their confidence on social media. And I do that in steps. I can do it in small steps, or I can just take it over and run it for them and they'll never have to worry about a thing. I do it all. And so it really just depends on what their levels are. Each client is unique to me. And I treat them the way they deserve because everyone comes to me like, why don't you have all these packages? And I kind of do. But frankly, when I talk with them, I almost always end up having to shift certain things in and add some things or take away to make it for them. So I specialize each package to the client, whether it's small, like you said, or big and large, and we do a huge thing. So I've got it all.
So how do they have, if they're watching this, how can they have like a consultation? Do you do a free assessment of them? Talk to us a little bit about that. Because I know now I've gotten a lot of people interested in like, I guess I really do need to do something more with my social media. I've been wanting to, but I'm going to tell everybody who's listening, you don't know if you can afford it until you know how much it'll cost you and how much it will cost you not to do it. Because you make people money. So that's the important part of this. You have a lot of success stories. So that's really important to know. So how do they get a hold of you and how can they have assessment?
And again, I am on every consultation personally. I don't hire my team for that. I want to make sure that we understand each other. So I'm down to give anyone 15 to 30 minutes of just talking it over and if it makes sense for them or not. And that's no problem. They can do that through my website and book it directly, or they can just DM me on Instagram. We'll say Iron Ranger 023 on Instagram, and we'll figure something out. I'll send you a calendar link and we'll get on and do a Zoom or get on a phone call, whatever's easiest. and we'll figure it out. And that's the thing is, like, you at least have ideas of what to do, even if you don't work with me. That's fine. You don't have to work with me. I just want to see you out there doing the best thing for your company and making yourself better and taking a part of this huge tsunami that's coming of social media. You will not stop this thing. So you might as well get on board now and build the ship.
Hasn't gone away, so it's not going anywhere. And if they mention my name or get celebritized in their DM, will you treat them extra special?
Extra special, yes. I'll give. I actually got some free stuff I'll be throwing at them for sure. I got some stuff I put together just for you, and one of those I have. It's in the. I'm almost done with it. So by the time this goes live in a day or two, it'll be.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome, Shawn. All right, and I also just want to, before we went on the air, we were just kind of having this conversation for the first time because you do come to my area, to the Atlanta, Georgia area a lot. You've got friends here. We know Ramona here. The event we did together was here in the Atlanta area. So please follow us and watch our comments, watch our social media, because when Shawn comes to town, which might be more often than you think, he will be doing some meet and greets and some events and some specials. So I'm really excited about collaborating with you. That's one thing you said when we were DMing, because I did what you're about to do, ladies and gentlemen. I DM'd him on Instagram, and we just said, hey, we need to brainstorm and do some collaboration. You don't have to know exactly why you're connecting to somebody all the time. Just, you know that I really want you. We got to explore this. We're on the same page. We're on the same wavelength. And when you said you raised $1.7 million for charities, you had my heart, Shawn, because that's what this is all about. Earning more so we can live more and give back more. So so excited. So with that, Shawn, give us some closing remarks as we wrap up this wonderful interview. You've been so gracious and so giving with your knowledge and your story. I hope everybody will follow you and come meet you in person, wherever you are, whether it's here in the Atlanta area or wherever you do go. Give us some closing thoughts. If you could give them a little pep talk, tell us what you'd want the viewers and listeners to know today.
I think at a minimum, I just want you to be yourself and remind yourself how important you really are. Your story is unique and different. Whether you're trying to be an influencer and make money on social media, we can help you with that. Whether you're a business owner and you're just trying to figure out where you're at and you're just starting, or you have a $1 billion industry, we can help you with that. It's just a matter of finding your voice and finding authenticity and telling your story the right way. I think we put too much pressure on ourselves to be perfect. And you see that in a lot of the ads right now. I refuse to be perfect in that aspect. I just throw it out there. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But the people who like it are the ones I want. I would rather you have 5,000 amazing, just highly interactive followers than 1 million who don't do anything. And so that's what I think is really important. Imagine walking out on a stage right now and you had 500 people looking at you. But that's what the views your post got. People don't understand that how dynamic that really is. And when
you got 100,
4,000, it's just amazing when you sit there and you can say, "Oh my gosh!" And I'm here in awe, literally in awe, because I've created 30 videos that have gone over 1 million, up to 20 million. I have 122 now videos that hit over 100,000. And I'm just sitting here going, "My gosh, that's how many people have seen me." And I can imagine being on a stage with that many people looking at me. And that's essentially what it is. And you can be worried about what people judge you on, but it doesn't even matter, because at the point is that people are there to watch you because you're being who you are. You're being authentic to yourself and your brand and the people that you surround yourself with. And they want to be a part of that. That's why I always say I'm just a part of the member of my tribe. I might have be the face of it, but no one is better than me or lesser than me in my tribe. We work together to try to figure out what the next steps will be. And sometimes they say they want to see certain videos, and other times they want to see others. And I can't help everyone all the time, but I really listen to them and they listen to me. And that's the beauty of connection. Social media is social for a reason. If you're posting ads to look pretty, you're doing it wrong. You need to post things that are connecting and engaging and allow people to come to you and you to go to them and them to feel a part of a bigger thing than themselves.
And when they watch your videos and TikToks, and Instagram and TikTok are really good, what you do. I love those two. Those are two of my favorites. They'll really look at the idea because they just have to scroll down and say, oh, this is cool. And you really be shocked sometimes which one gets the most engagement. And I look and I bet he didn't know that one was going to go viral because like you said, that's
no idea.
It's just crazy. All right, I lied. I had a big fat lie. I do have one more question for you.
Sure, keep them coming. I got it.
How does all this And I've always been curious too, because I've never built like that big mega engagement on it. How does this turn into conversations and collaborations with brand deals? I know you showed us the cologne for Ralph Lauren now. Do they reach out to people that just to get engaged? Is it just real authentic? How does it work? Yeah, there it is. I love it.
Sure.
How did
I
that
got
work?
it right here, luckily. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
open it
great.
up. So they want you to smell like Ralph Lauren. How did that happen?
It's interesting. You talk to the brands and you tell them how much you love them, and then they laugh at you.
You
Some
reach
of
out
them.
to them first.
Both. It goes, but well,
Okay.
actually, Ralph Lauren came to me in this case, luckily. But Armani is the one I reached out to. I said, "Hey, I love a lot of your scents, and would like to maybe consider working with you one day." And they said, "We got this new scent out. We'd love for you to try, and if you like it, will you post a video?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll post a video." And so I loved it. Of course, I loved it. And then I went a little bit further. I said, "Hey, I would love to maybe work with you since you love the video. The video did this amount. Here's the engagement." I gave them the stats behind it. And they said, "Yeah." And then next thing you know, I'm getting paid. Marmani's paying me to do ads. And then Ralph Lauren saw it and they said, "We loved what you did with Armani. Would you do it for us?" And that's kind of how it worked. But there's a lot of unique ways to get brands. And there's PR companies out there that can help you. I know all of the way. So I have steps. I have a whole system
What are your
depending on
programs? Okay.
what size of influencer you are, whether you're brand new or you've got 14 million. There are steps that I can give them to get higher end brand deals, to make more money, create higher engagement. And there's always ways, whether it be reaching out to them or finding ways for them to reach out to you. I have tricks. I don't want to give them all away, but
No.
there are tricks. There are tricks to reel brands in where they notice you, and it's pretty creative, and it works a lot of the time. So it's pretty fun to do. But yeah,
Okay.
we have a lot of fun with it.
I love that. I don't want you to give away your secret. I got a better idea. Okay, just my ideas are flowing. Here's what we can do. If you so agree, don't even have to tell us now, but on one of your trips to Atlanta, which I know will be soon, we could, or you could do a special workshop maybe, but look at maybe an affordable price, kind of intro price on how to get brand deals with smaller social engagement, the entrepreneur on social media. Maybe we'll of course you get a real fun name for that, but teaching the entrepreneurs how to get brand deals at any size social following, something like that. What do you think?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, my most recent one's great. She had like 1,000 on her Instagram only. And I helped her build a TikTok and a Facebook account. And now she's got almost 10,000 on each in 4 months. She's been able to grow up to almost 10,000. She's making at least $5,000 a month in brand deals revenue. So that right there. Now she's an anomaly in some ways because some take a little bit longer. It just depends on the work they're willing to put in. But she puts the work in and she does what we ask her to, and she's crushing it. And I would happily do that for anyone though. That workshop sounds right up my alley. I love that kind of stuff.
I love it. Well, Shawn, I'm so glad to meet you. I know people cross our paths for a reason. I was so connected to you when I heard you speak. I'm like, I love this guy. He's authentic. He's fun. He helps people. And I can't wait to learn more. And I really want to talk to you more in depth about, how you do some of these videos. We're not going to get into it today. I want them to call you. Everybody will have a different need, but you're doing great. I encourage everybody to follow you. I love that you have Iron Ranger 023 everywhere, but Instagram and TikTok, everyone, you've got to follow him there. You'll love his videos. He'll help you. He'll show you. And I love how generous you are with even just giving some of those free tips to help somebody that just needs a little leg up to be a little bit better tomorrow than they were today in their social media and in their entrepreneurship, because it's a scary thing to be an entrepreneur and it can be very lonely, and it can really seem some days that everybody else has it all together and you're sitting there just letting this tide pass you by. But people like you, Shawn, really make a difference. So thank you for making a difference in entrepreneurs' lives and giving back to the charities. Lastly, how's your son doing with his social media since he was the beginning of all of this? He's still on social media?
He is his mom is a little bit trepidous of him still doing it. So we've kind of removed him a lot from it. And we just have him from time to time. He makes his little appearances. And those videos are really good, by the way. When we go live or together, we have those videos. But he loves it. And he's more of the behind the scenes guy. So he does a lot of stuff still with my social media. But we're waiting to be a little bit more age appropriate before he can really launch his own. So I can't wait to I can't wait to see him do it because that kid's a star. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be richer and like
Of course.
higher up than everyone. Like this kid gets life. So I'm pretty blessed to be such a.
How old is he?
He's 15, so
Oh
almost
my
16.
gosh.
He got his permit, so that's been fun.
Oh yes, prayers.
We sure, but he's a great kid. He's an amazing human, and I'm so blessed to be his father.
That's awesome, Shawn. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and everything about you. Thank you for your service in the Army Rangers. You're just such an incredible person. This is just the beginning. Everyone, follow us, follow me, and follow Shawn. We're going to be doing some amazing things together. And I have a feeling it's not going to be the last time we're going on the air together. We've got more to share for sure. All right, Shawn,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. And we will see you again on Get Celebritized. Thank you all. Bye for now.